Welcome back to Arctic Fox Show, where we explore the world's most chilling paranormal events. Today, we'll dive deep into one of the most documented and terrifying cases of all time, the Enfield Poltergeist. Buckle up and prepare for a story that will make you question what's real and what lies beyond. Our story begins in August of 1977, in the unassuming town of Enfield, England. The Hodgson family, Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children, were living a quiet life in a modest council house on Green Street. But that peace was shattered one night when strange knocking sounds echoed through the walls. At first it seemed like a prank, something easily dismissed. But what was about to happen would terrify the family for months. Janet Hodgson, just 11 years old, and her brother Pete were the first to witness the unexplainable. Furniture moved by itself, toys flew across rooms, and disembodied voices called out in the dead of night. The activity escalated quickly. Soon chairs were flipping over and heavy dressers slid across the floor as if guided by invisible hands. The family was terrified. The most disturbing phenomena centered around Janet. On several occasions, she was witnessed levitating, rising off her bed while in a deep trance. And then there was the voice, a guttural, growling voice that spoke through Janet, claiming to be an old man named Bill Wilkins who had died in the house. The chilling detail? Bill Wilkins had lived and died there long before the Hodgsons moved in. Janet, in a voice far too deep for a young girl, described his death with unsettling accuracy. "I died in that chair, of a hemorrhage." As the terror mounted, Peggy Hodgson sought help. She reached out to the police, who came to the house. One officer even reported seeing a chair move across the floor on its own. But this was only the beginning. The family's pleas for help soon reached the ears of paranormal investigators Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair from the Society for Psychical Research. Maurice Grosse was convinced the Hodgsons were experiencing a true poltergeist phenomenon. He recorded strange knocking sounds, objects moving, and most disturbingly, Janet speaking in that inhuman voice. The paranormal events seemed to target her relentlessly, leading some to believe she was possessed by the spirit of Bill Wilkins. As media attention grew, skeptics began to question the validity of the events. Was it all an elaborate hoax, orchestrated by the Hodgson children? Some even accused Janet of fabricating the events, pointing to moments where she was caught bending spoons or creating noises. But despite these claims, many witnesses, including journalists, neighbors, and even police officers, stood by their accounts. They insisted that what they saw was beyond explanation. The debate only intensified when Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous paranormal investigators, got involved. The Warrens claimed the house was under siege by something far darker than a ghost, a demonic force intent on harming the family. Lorraine, a clairvoyant, sensed a heavy, malevolent presence, while Ed attempted to cleanse the house. Despite their efforts, the activity continued and the case remained unresolved. The haunting persisted for nearly 2 years, tormenting the Hodgson family and baffling investigators. Over time, the activity gradually subsided, but the psychological scars remained. Janet would later say that the poltergeist had never truly left her, that it had followed her into adulthood. To this day, the Enfield Poltergeist is one of the most documented and controversial paranormal cases in history. While skeptics dismiss it as a hoax, others remain convinced that the Hodgson family experienced something far beyond the normal realm. And while the true nature of the haunting may never be fully understood, one thing is clear. For the Hodgson family, Green Street was never just a house. It was the gateway to something much darker. So, what do you believe? Was the Enfield Poltergeist a genuine encounter with the supernatural, or was it a carefully constructed hoax fueled by fear? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into one of the most famous hauntings in history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that will leave you looking over your shoulder. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky.